Good evening and salutations, my Days of Lies fans. I saw yesterday's episode. I thought it was okay. It was okay. Kind of a weird way to shoehorn in some backstory, because it was the 57th anniversary yesterday. And it just so happens that um, the whole mentioning of it was because Julie accidentally took some fur coat, not some fur scarf or whatever, and she didn't realize that she did it. And Sean was like, "Hey, listen, this shop owner is thinking that you're stealing or whatever." And that's how the whole thing gets started. And the 57th anniversary, the cake and everything. And I was just like, it could have been a little bit. It could have been done a little bit better than that, but whatever. Getting into this episode, I just find it super convenient that 1 minute Sloan is annoyed, angry at Alex, that you know, you stole the file away from me, and you're this and you're that, and you're gonna lose the best sex you ever had, and telling Chad, oh well, you got somebody that was a really good friend to betray me, and I'm like, a really good friend. All this dude was there for was a booty call. Okay, all he was there doing was knocking boots at you. When in this whole, I'm deeply hurt that one of my friends betrayed me. What are you talking about? And of course, she somehow conveniently was able to get her hands in the file because Leo is an idiot. Okay? I don't even understand how she did that. They didn't show it, but somehow when Sloan visited Leo to, get the payment, and Leo did get in advance, but Leo decides to go in her safe to get out money for her. Which I'm just like, bro, you serious? I mean, I get that she was threatening him, but I'm like, what are you doing? And the file just happened to be right there. Not at her house where it should have been at, or, I don't know, a lockbox, a safety deposit box, something. No, the file just happened to be right there. So, of course, she's able to get her hands on it. And, not that long after Paulina's speech, Chanel gets arrested. Now, Melinda is all too happy. She is happy as hell. I love seeing Melinda. My goodness, I love seeing Melinda. Here's the thing. I don't. Again, I'm not the person that typically goes for the celebrities and the superstars and their looks and stuff like that. Like I much rather. I find the average woman, the average woman, the average girl, so much more attractive than any celebrity. Person. There are few celebrities, few soap opera people that I'd be like, yeah, Portia, Melinda, Ashley, and I'm talking about Ashley from Y&R, Donna from B&B. It was just really good seeing Melinda, and of course, she was, talking about how, Sean is out there to arrest Chanel. Chanel gets arrested. Allie is upset. Paulina's upset. Abe is like, listen, you need to just let this happen. It's hard for me to have any sort of sympathy for Chanel at this point because we still don't know what she's arrested for. All it is attempted murder or whatever. And of course, Sloan is just gloating. She comes to Paulina's office to gloat. And it makes me, and not just me, I know a lot of other people are sitting there thinking, whatever this is, Sloan is personally invested into it. I mean, it's a theory. It's just I feel strongly about the fact that Sloan is she's personally invested in it. I don't know how. Maybe it was her boyfriend. Maybe it was her dad. Who knows? But she seems like she is personally invested into it. Belle decides to take the case. Of course, when Belle talks to Chanel about, what it is, they cut to it and it's like, oh, okay, all right, well, it's best not to sit there and say too much. I'm like, and we still don't know. Still don't know. Now it is sweeps week. So we may actually get a little more backstory into it in a couple of weeks, but I don't like waiting. I understand it's a soap opera and they gotta have a little mystery, but give us something. Even if they gave us a little bit of it. If the show is as good as it is, and the writers are as talented as they are, they can always drop some more stuff in there later on. But give us something. Because we've been waiting for a hot minute to find out what's going on. You know? It's kind of like, well, I really shouldn't sit there and compare it, but a little bit it's like Austin on GH. We don't know who this boss lady is, you know? And I just hope that with Days, they don't draw this out to a point where we just don't care. Because Days has been killing it. But I can't just sit there and cut them slack because, they've been doing good so far. Because, like yesterday and the day before, it's been, what else we got? Allie was there. I said Allie was there. She didn't really do too much of anything. Let me just. That's what it is. I knew I forgot something. So Sonny and Leo decide to go out, and they run into Alex for a little bit. They part ways, and you know Sonny has his guard up. He's like, "What's going on? What is this? I'm still married. What are you doing? Do you want a sugar daddy? This, that, and the third?" And Leo seems like he's kind of hurt by it. And he opens up about how he understands that Sonny can't take him seriously because he doesn't take himself too seriously. You know, he laughs and he jokes and keeps people at arm's length because I don't know. I guess he's afraid to get too close to people, but he doesn't like being lonely. And his ways, his his way of life has cost him, and this is the results. People not taking him seriously, even when he's trying to be serious. But he really opens up to Sonny. Now Stephanie and Alex are on a date, and I don't know. I mean, Alex is like, I'm surprised, you want to go out with me. And, even when, well, I mean, well, he's not, he's happy, but he was surprised that, they decided to go on a date. Yeah, that's what yeah. He's surprised that, like, they were on a date. And, of course, Stephanie was like, I want to thank you, this, that, and the third. And, there's a point where Alex is like, listen, I shouldn't presume that this is a date. And Stephanie's like, well, what if it is? I want to sit there and see you differently and yada, yada, yada. But here's the thing. I feel that even the talk yesterday between Stephanie and Alex, I mean, the Stephanie and Chad, the one thing that proved was that she wanted to go out with Chad. And Chad was like, listen, I don't know if I would be ready. And I don't want to sit there and I don't want to keep your life on hold. So, by definition, Stephanie, in not so many words, basically was like, I'm going to go out with Alex as a constellation prize. I mean, she even said that in the beginning. She was like, well, it'd be different if you're available or something along those lines. So when she's not there talking to Alex, the only thing I keep hearing that comes out of her mouth is, you're a constellation prize. No matter what she says, well, I don't exactly remember the line she was using, but it felt like she kept trying to justify her reasons. Like she tried to talk herself into doing it because, oh, I can see you in a different light, and maybe I'm ready to get back out there, and this, that, and the third, and you seem, I'm grateful, and all this other stuff. I just hear constellation prize. You're a constellation prize. Uh, and of course, at some point, Chad does come by and he tells Stephanie about Pauline and everything that happened. And of course, Chad is like, Leo's responsible. So Alex, he walks up and he grabs Leo. He's like, what did you do? And Leo, tells them that Sloan visited him to hit him up for money, and he admitted, there was a second that I wasn't watching Sloan because I'm quote unquote bad with money. I don't understand this. This guy's supposed to be a schemer back in the day. You can spot a counterfeit bill, but you're not too good with counting money. That doesn't work. You're a schemer, but you're not too good with counting money. But you can spot a fake bill. Are you kidding me? There's cashiers that have been working for years that's not really too good and that have accidentally gotten counterfeit money. But yet you can't count money? Like, really? So anyway, you got Stephanie, Alex, and Chad sitting there thinking that Leo betrayed his boss and everything like that, like he was in on it. But Sonny looks at him and Sonny's like, I don't believe that you did it. I don't know why, but I just have this feeling that I don't think that you did it. So at least he believes him. Now, at some point, you know that this whole romance is going to start. I'm a married man and everything like that, but you got your husband living in LA, you're in Salem. The times you're supposed to sit there and meet up, you don't meet up. What are you doing? You're living two separate lives. And I just don't, even when I look at that as a whole, this isn't like he's making, well, no, he's making a movie and stuff like that, but this is something where this was never going to work. Okay, bottom line, this was never going to work. Him pursuing his dream and you staying out there, this is never going to work. And I don't understand how they both came to that conclusion that it was. I understand that for the writer, for the actor's sake that doesn't want to be on the show too long and he has a regular job, they had to make it work. But in reality, this was never going to work. You can't have a married couple, or it's extremely difficult to have a married couple living, you know, that far apart from each other and still trying to be committed to each other. It's not going to work out. I mean, people have arrangements for things like that. Hell, people have arrangements for things like that when you're together, just to make sure that people don't be bored and stuff like that. Swinging and stuff swinging and stuff. So, on what planet did those two ever actually think that being married and living that far apart was ever going to work? I feel like that's pretty much about it. There's not really much that happened. Like I said, Bella's going to be taking the case. We still don't know what Chanel is, arrested for. So it's hard for me to give any sort of emotions as far as do I feel bad for her or not, yada yada yada. But I will admit that I like Chanel a lot better now than I did back then. I don't know. I feel, and this is one of those rare things where it's like, I mean, granted, it. No, I take that back. I take that back. It is kind of odd though, because the minute that they did switch out one actress for the other, her character literally did change. She wasn't this cringy, um, self-centered, don't care about anyone else's feelings girl that she was when she first came into town. I mean, Chanel, when she first came into town, she had no problem disrespecting her own cousin at the time when it came towards Eli. And yeah, I get it. Eli walked around the house naked and everything like that, or half naked, right? But more than one time did I'm just trying to think of her name. Lonnie sit down and be like, yo, listen, don't look at my man like that. That's disrespectful. And, to be honest, you wouldn't, if it was a reverse, we'll be sitting there looking at like, that's wrong. She didn't get it, Chanel didn't get it at the time, but it shows you just how clueless that she was and just how much she had no problem disrespecting her own cousin. But you look at her now, she's a lot different. And it's crazy that they only did that after that actress left. And this is why people have this notion of on General Hospital, if Christopher Tyler played Nicholas, then his character would been so much different. And he wouldn't have did this, and he wouldn't have did that. And it's like, no, this is the writing. This isn't the actor's fault. But when we have stuff like this going on, it gives people this delusional idea that it's somehow the actor's fault. Anyway, with that being said, I think that's actually going to do it. This episode was. But thank you for watching. Be safe, and I'll see you in the next video.